Welcome back to Top 5.
The arena buzzed with anticipation, the atmosphere thick with the electric energy of eager spectators. The sun hung high, casting harsh light onto the battleground, a sprawling expanse of scorched earth and shattered stone, bearing the scars of countless battles that had come before. Today, two titans would clash, Dr. Manhattan, the one-ranked god of matter and time, and Hellboy, the demon with unmatched strength and a fierce heart. As the gates opened, Dr. Manhattan floated into the arena, his blue skin shimmering with an otherworldly glow. He exuded an aura of calm detachment, his piercing eyes surveying the battlefield with an unsettling coolness. The crowd fell silent, awed by his presence. With a mere thought, he manipulated the air around him, creating a soft, ethereal wind that swirled gently at his feet. Across from him, Hellboy stepped into the arena, his massive frame radiating raw power. His red skin glistened under the harsh sunlight, and his filed-down horns framed a face filled with determination and grit. Clad in his tattered trench coat, he brandished the right hand of Doom, a weapon forged in the fires of hell, and his other hand gripped a massive revolver, ready for action. "Let's see what you've got, Blue Boy," Hellboy called out, a confident smirk on his face as he leveled his revolver at Manhattan. Without hesitation, he pulled the trigger. The bullet rocketed forward, a deadly projectile aimed directly at the god. But with a flick of his wrist, Dr. Manhattan disintegrated the bullet mid-flight, the fragments dissipating into a fine mist of energy. "Your weapons are ineffective against me," Manhattan replied, his voice calm and almost bored. Hellboy's smirk faded into a fierce glare. He charged forward, using his massive size to close the distance. With a powerful swing of his right hand, he aimed directly at Manhattan's head. The punch was formidable, but Manhattan merely sidestepped, the punch whistling past him. Hellboy stumbled slightly but quickly regained his balance and pivoted, swinging again with a roundhouse kick that could crush stone. Dr. Manhattan anticipated the move, catching the kick with a barrier of energy that rippled upon impact, sending a shockwave through the arena. "You'll have to do better than that," Manhattan taunted, his voice laced with condescension. In a desperate bid, Hellboy summoned his sword, a massive weapon forged in the depths of his hellish lineage. He swung it with all his might, aiming for Manhattan's torso. The blade sliced through the air, but once again, Manhattan effortlessly phased out of the way, appearing several feet away, an unbothered expression on his face. Enraged, Hellboy unleashed a barrage of strikes, each swing of his sword filled with the weight of his anger and determination. He was relentless, pushing Manhattan back with a flurry of violent attacks. Each time the blade connected with Manhattan's energy field, sparks flew, and the ground trembled under the force of their battle. "Enough games!" Hellboy roared, focusing his energy. He charged the right hand of Doom with dark power, a surge of energy radiating from his palm. With a primal scream, he slammed it into the ground, sending shockwaves that shattered the earth beneath him. The ground erupted, jagged rocks flying towards Dr. Manhattan with deadly speed. With a wave of his hand, Dr. Manhattan manipulated the very atoms of the rocks, causing them to disintegrate before they could reach him. The crowd gasped in awe at his display of power, but Hellboy was undeterred. He leaped into the air, swinging his sword in a downward arc, aiming to cleave Manhattan in two. Manhattan raised a hand, and the sword met another energy barrier, the clash resonating through the arena. The shockwave sent Hellboy tumbling backward, but he quickly rolled to his feet, determination etched on his face. "Is that all you've got?" Hellboy spat, wiping the blood from a cut on his brow. The two fighters stood facing each other, the tension palpable. Dr. Manhattan, realizing the intensity of the fight, decided to escalate. He concentrated, summoning energy that swirled around him, creating a blinding light that illuminated the arena. In an instant, he unleashed a wave of energy, a force that surged toward Hellboy like a tsunami. Hellboy braced himself as the wave crashed against him, the raw power threatening to engulf him. With a roar, he summoned the strength of his demonic heritage, pushing against the onslaught. He dug his feet into the ground, the right hand of doom glowing fiercely as he absorbed the energy, redirecting it into a counterattack. Hellboy charged forward, a whirlwind of fury and strength, and slammed the right hand of doom into the ground. The impact sent shockwaves rippling through the arena, and the ground split open. Debris flew everywhere as Hellboy powered through the energy wave, rushing toward Dr. Manhattan with unrelenting force. The God of Matter prepared to phase out of existence, but Hellboy was faster this time. He connected with a crushing blow, the right hand of doom colliding with Manhattan's torso and sending him careening backward. The crowd erupted in cheers, the underdog gaining ground against the formidable opponent. Manhattan, momentarily stunned, quickly regained his composure. He stood up, his expression shifting from surprise to focus. "You've proven to be a worthy adversary," he acknowledged, his voice steady. "I'm just getting started." Hellboy shouted, charging again. With a fierce swing of his sword, he aimed for Manhattan's neck, but the being of energy simply shifted, causing the blade to slice through empty air. Dr. Manhattan retaliated, conjuring a series of explosive projectiles that raced towards Hellboy with blinding speed. Hellboy dodged, rolling to the side as the explosions rocked the arena, sending debris flying and filling the air with dust. He quickly spotted Manhattan amidst the chaos and leaped back into action, swinging his sword with a renewed vigor. "Time to end this!" Hellboy yelled, determination radiating from him as he charged, the sword raised high. Dr. Manhattan, realizing the urgency of the moment, concentrated his energy into one massive blast, intent on obliterating Hellboy. As the two forces converged, the arena lit up with a blinding light, the impact creating a shockwave that shook the very foundation of the arena. When the dust settled, the spectators held their breath, waiting to see who would emerge victorious. As the smoke cleared, Hellboy stood, battered but defiant, his sword gripped tightly in his hand. Across from him, Dr. Manhattan flickered, weakened but not yet defeated. "Is this all you've got?" Hellboy taunted, stepping forward, ready to deliver the final blow. With a final effort, Dr. Manhattan summoned the last of his energy, creating a blinding flash that momentarily blinded Hellboy. In that instant, he reappeared behind the demon, aiming to deliver a finishing blow. But Hellboy, fueled by instinct and survival, turned just in time, catching Manhattan off guard with a swift swing of his sword. The blade struck true, embedding itself in Manhattan's side. The god gasped, a look of shock crossing his face as the energy began to dissipate around him. "Looks like your tricks won't save you now," Hellboy shouted, pulling the sword free and readying himself for the final strike. With a desperate surge, Dr. Manhattan attempted to phase out of reality, but it was too late. Hellboy swung the sword one last time, a powerful arc that connected with Manhattan's form. The impact sent a shockwave throughout the arena, and in that moment, Dr. Manhattan exploded into a cascade of light, his essence scattering into the air. Silence enveloped the arena as Hellboy stood amidst the remnants of the battle, panting heavily. The crowd erupted into a frenzy, cheers ringing out as they hailed the demon as the victor. Hellboy raised his sword high, a testament to his resilience and strength. In that moment, he had proven that even against a god, sheer willpower and determination could prevail. The battle would be remembered, a legendary clash between two forces of nature, but today, Hellboy stood triumphant, the champion of the second round of the Who Will Win tournament.